Music from The Elder. Hey, let's talk about this album a little bit, okay? Music from The Elder. I always called it The Elder. You know, I always forget that it's called Music from The Elder. Um, Very brilliant, very underrated album. I know you gotta love it or you gotta hate it, or you gotta at least admit that you really love it deep down inside, and you're just afraid to admit it, right? That's probably the main consensus. Is that people that say they hate it, they really love it deep down inside. Look, you got a cool storyline, you know. I love that centerfold there. It's supposed to be the elder. Like, where are they at though? Where are they all like going to the bathroom at the same time? Anyway, let's discuss the songs on here. So this is a more recent reissue. So as you can see, the songs are a little bit out of order from what we remember. I remember I was 13 when I got this album. Right? This is probably like the third or fourth Kiss album I ever bought around that age. Because, you know, I think I very first got Ace Frehley's solo album at first, and then I got Dynasty. I don't think I bought it in Mask when it came out. I remember hearing about it. I remember getting teased in school when this one kid was telling me that, yeah, Peter Criss ain't in the band no more. Kiss sucks now and all this stuff. You know, it was around the time that Unmasked came out, and I remember crying. I went home crying and shit. What was I? I was probably, I was actually 12 years old, 1980. Okay, so this came out, I was 13. I was crying at 12 years old over Peter Criss leaving Kiss, and that kid telling me that Kiss sucks. So anyway, but you know, back then we had The Oath that started off the album. From I'm looking at the U.S. version here on Discogs, but even as a kid at 13, I don't remember The Oath being the first song. Was there ever a version, maybe a Germany or some other pressing where it started out with Fanfare, Just a Boy, and then goes into The Oath? Because that's kind of what I remember. I remember when I first put it on, I remember the Fanfare, and I remember Just a Boy kind of starting off the album. And it gets heavy, with The Oath. But, like I bought the album at Kmart, so I don't think I would have bought a German pressing at Kmart. But I would assume I would have got the U.S. version. But I don't know. This is how I remember it. But this has Fanfare, Just a Boy, and then goes into the Odyssey. Which I love Odyssey. I think Odyssey is a freaking one of the. Okay, there's like the greatest songs ever written. I think Odyssey is up there. Maybe not in the top 5 or 10, but it's up there pretty high on my list as far as great songs that are ever written. It's just such a beautiful melody, the lyrics, it's just the way it flows. It's a song. I think when I was about 13 or 14, I had a crush on some girl in school, and I remember every time I heard that song, it kind of made me think of her, like on a faraway galaxy, you and me. I thought I was Paul Stanley back then and shit. Anyway, so Odyssey's a great song. I just think whoever did this reissue, whoever decided to put the songs in this order, I don't know, just kind of kills it a little bit. It should have went into The Oath. It should have actually started out with Fanfare, Just a Boy, and then The Oath, and then maybe go into like Odyssey or something. Only You, good song. I like the bass line in that. It's kind of a song I could just kind of skip. Like, it's not like a song that really stands out to me that much. Under the Rose, though. I love that song, man. It's so dramatic. It's the orchestra that's in it, the backing vocals. It sounds gothic. It sounds goth before goth was even a thing. You think of when you hear Under the Rose, you picture this album cover. You just picture the way, and you actually picture all that on the inside there. It's just got that. It totally fits the album artwork. So, Dark Light, Ace Frehley. I love the guitar solo in Dark Light, but people tell me sometimes that Ace didn't really play a whole lot on this album, or am I thinking of a different album? Maybe you could drop it in the comments. Is that Ace Frehley playing the guitar solo? It sure sounds like him, but he's fast on it, and it's long. And Ace's solos are kind of like always like little mini songs within each Kiss song, and that sounds like a kind of his style. And if it's not Ace Frehley, then whoever constructed that solo and is playing it did a really good job of making you believe that it's Ace Frehley. So, hats off to that guy. Then it goes into A World Without Heroes on side 2. Beautiful song. I love the boo, 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 and the little harmonics that he do. I'm actually want to cover that song. I was figuring out on guitar the other day. Um, how many of you remember on Solid Gold when they performed it on there? Back when Kiss used to lip sync. They don't lip sync now. They used to lip sync when they were on Solid Gold. Anyway, yeah, they did that song, and didn't they do a I too on Solid Gold, or did they just do a World Without Heroes? I just remember World Without Heroes. The one thing I didn't like about The Elder is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley whacking their hair off the way they did. Paul Stanley with the headband, he looked like Olivia Newton-John or something. It looked like he was like he'd be in a physical video. Let's get physical, physical. I wanna get physical. Let me hear your body talk. Then I got The Oath. So The Oath is a really good song. It's heavy. It's kind of like a little bit ahead of its time. It was almost, kind of metal. One of the riffs kind of reminds me of a Black Sabbath riff. It could have been a Black Sabbath riff if it was tuned down a little bit lower. It also has the same kind of chorus. That riff is that's just, I love that riff. And kind of similar to, there's also a riff in it that's similar to I, which I'm assuming they maybe did that on purpose because it's a concept album. So you're gonna hear some riffs are gonna be similar to other riffs in the other songs. Mr. Blackwell. I had a teacher in school named Mr. Blackwell. The only thing is he was really nice. He was a super cool guy. So every time I heard this song, and you could tell his Kiss taking shots at that critic, because I guess there was this critic named Mr. Blackwell that would always write nasty shit about Kiss and other artists or whatever. Maybe I don't know if he reviewed movies or anything or actors, but yeah, he was just known as a very mean critic. And so I think you got this whole concept album about this whole freaking the Elders and Odyssey and everything, and then they said, let's take a little bit of a break and take a shot at this Mr. Blackwell guy. We'll tie it into the concept somehow. I believe that's what it's about anyway. I remember reading about that a long time ago. But it's a good song. But yeah, it's totally opposite of my teacher that was in school named Mr. Blackwell, because he was a super cool guy and always encouraged us kids to stay in school and learn. As you can see, I'm not learning much. Yeah, because my vocabulary is all over the very limited. I know words. I have a lot of words. For Donald Trump. I know many words. I got a big brain. What is this song? Oh, Escape from the Island, right? What do you think about that song? Instrumental. It's Kiss really showing off their skills. I like about The Elder is that it did show, despite what people think about it, it just showed that Kiss can actually do more than just your basic rock or whatever. And yeah, it showed that they can actually, even though if it wasn't their complete idea to do it, Bob Ezrin thought of it all up or whatever. The fact that Kiss was open-minded to be able to do it and pull it off. So I thought Escape from the Island is really good. So it's also kind of a song I could sort of pass up. I really like I believe in I. No, that I believe in me. God don't lean. No, I don't know the words. Anyway, I like I. Okay, what are your favorite songs? So far, my favorite songs on The Elder is Odyssey, Under the Rose. I'm going to say my top 5 songs are going to be Odyssey. I'm not going to go in any kind of order, but my top 5 songs in no particular order would be Odyssey, Under the Rose, Dark Light, A World Without Heroes, and I want to say I. Well, it's a toss-up between I and Mr. Blackwell because I really like the groove of Mr. Blackwell. In the comments, subscribe to the channel. We want to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers soon because I'm going to have Gene Simmons, the guy that's on our channel, the Gene Simmons. I'm going to challenge him to do the Death Nut Challenge. That's the Carolina Reaper nut. So there's 5 levels. It starts out somewhat hot, then it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And each packet that you eat, you have to chew the nuts for 10 seconds. And you can't have any kind of milk or any kind of assistance or anything. And then And then when you get to the final pack and you're done eating that for 10 seconds, oh yeah, then in between, after you chew for 10 seconds, you got to wait 30 seconds and eat the next pack. When you get to the very end, it's called packet number 5, that's the hottest little batch of nuts. So you pop them in your mouth, and you have to let it burn for 5 minutes before you can take any kind of drink of milk or whatever. And look, as you can see, I got the Elder shirt on. That's how much I love this album. I got the T-shirt and the record. But anyway, so I'm gonna have Gene Simmons do that when we hit 1,000 subscribers. He's gonna do it on camera, and we're gonna burn his mouth and his ass off. Now he's used to spitting fire, but he's not gonna be used to spitting this kind of fire. I was gonna do it myself, but I chickened out. I was gonna do it on the Gen X Brothers podcast, but I chickened out. I paid like, I think 20 something bucks for it. So it's just been sitting in my room, and I'm thinking, well, what can I do with this? Okay, I'll make it we hit 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, the new Kiss Army's Revenge channel. Yes, we are back. We are waiting for Sam Loomis. This is Loomis Watch 22, and I made this channel again so that we can actually talk about Sam Loomis and the videos that he releases. We're not going to post any here, but we're going to at least discuss them and review them and all that good stuff. And so, we're at about 200 subscribers now. Let's get to 1,000, and let's get Gene to do that Death Nut Challenge. All right, everyone. This is my thoughts on The Elder. I want to hear your thoughts as well. Is it one of your favorite albums? Is it your least favorite album? If you do hate it, what is it that you hate about it? If you do love it, what is it that you love about it? All right? And if you hate it, but deep down inside you really love it, and you're just afraid to admit it, well, this is the place to admit it. And you're not going to be judged or anything, because all Kiss fans, we all love you. Check it out. My hand's fatter than his. That's Paul Stanley's hand, right? All right, everyone. Peace out.